Hi, sisters. I wanted to take some time to talk with you about the worksheet that I created for you in the Radical Love Revolution. And I really wanted to take time to chat with you about it because it's really important. We have things that can stand in the way of our big godlike dream. And like I said, my jam, my gift in this world is to help you be able to energetically align and to match that energetic state to that dream in your heart. And that is something that we are doing in this program. And the thing I really want to look at is the things that actually can pull us away from that alignment, the things that can pull us away from us energetically aligning. And those things are our beliefs. Those are the things that we were told when we were a little girl, that we couldn't do whatever it was, or that we had these beliefs instilled in us. And some of those beliefs, like I am not worthy, I'm not lovable. It could be around money, like money's evil, like money. For me, I remember my dad used to say, Stephanie, money doesn't grow in trees. All the things that we were taught, all the things that we were said, our parents said to us, of course, they didn't mean to cause us harm and later in life and have these beliefs that were stuck in our subconscious, keeping us from reaching our dreams. But the reality is those things are running in our subconscious, and that's 90%. I'm sure you've seen the iceberg picture of that iceberg, and then only a tip of it is out there, but there's so much that's covered, and that is that unconsciousness. And we want to address that. We want to actually lean into those things, because if we do, and we bring awareness and we bring light and we bring love to those things, then we can actually make the change and the shift, so we can not only match that dream in our heart energetically, but we can stay there. So not only because I can help you energetically get to that dream, but we have to work on the things that are going to continue to pull out our energy, and we want to get them all aligned. We want to get them all on the same ship. We want to get them all. I always love to think about this work as like getting on a raft and like flowing down the river, and flowing down the river in the flow and the ease of life. But we want to get them all on our ship, all on our raft, to go down with us, instead of like them like being like the rocks that are gonna, like, we're gonna bump into, or the stumps and the things in the path on the river. We want to get them all aligned so our journey is even more clear, more abundant, more ease, more flow, all the things. So we have things that our thoughts have an energetic frequency, and that's what we're talking about. This is why I'm really addressing this, is our thoughts and our feelings, and those are connected to our beliefs. So I want you, I'm gonna excuse me, I'm going to share the screen and get to the worksheet right now, so hopefully you can see this. So we're just going to go through this together, because again, I really want to take this time, because this is something I actually want you to revisit every 90 days. If we revisit this every 90 days, it is going to, we're going to be able to evaluate and bring that awareness, because awareness is key. That's how we change things. And then we're going to be able to make the inspired actions. And then we're going to be able to continue to really break out of those boxes that have been keeping us from playing small. So the first step is your awareness. What does your itty bitty shitty committee say? Like, what are those things that are constantly grabbing at you? I always think about the crabs in the bucket. Like, they're just grabbing at you and they're just pulling you down. Those are things to really pay attention to. What do you think is underneath this? Sorry, I've got something stuck in my throat. Get curious. And I don't know if you can see me very well from this little thing, but put on your love glasses. Put on the lens of love. How can I see this differently? How can I see this through the lens of love? This is huge. And then we want to get quiet. And we want to take 5 deep breaths. So we're actually going to stop and do this together. So I'm just going to ask you to plant your feet if they're not on the ground, wiggle your toes. Feel your pelvis on a chair. Feel your sits bones. Just feel that womb space, that root chakra, reminding yourself that you are safe. And now you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in Out through your nose. Now, asking this part as you continue to breathe, what is underneath that part of myself that tells me I'm not worthy, that tells me, who do you think you are, that tells me, you can never have this, whatever that is, you're not lovable, you're not, all those different things that come through. So just spending time giving this place space, breathing in, breathing out. One more time. Now, how can you turn this into your inner love committee? How can you? This was, by the way, on Saturday, I was teaching this with my VIP group, and I woke up Saturday morning and I got a download, and it said, I got the message that I needed to share, that we needed to look at what I'm asking you to look at through the senses, through the five senses. And so if I'm getting this, this is not coming from me. Whatever your belief is, my belief is that is coming from God. But whatever yours is, I'm not here to teach you that. Like, this is pure. This is as pure as it gets. So I really want to invite you to listen and take this in. Oh, two women from Saturday, when I shared this, one woman, I'm going to share. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Hold on. I'm going to actually take myself off share here to share this with you. One woman from Saturday, when she did this, she smelled oranges. And she's like, I don't know why, but I just like, I got this sense that I was like smelling oranges. And so a few days went by, and I just had a one-on-one session with her. And it's gonna make me cry. This blows my mind, and I do this work, you guys. And she has this aunt. She has this aunt. Her name is Aunt Flo. And Aunt Flo is like this, it was a spiritual teacher for her on earth. She helped like just develop her into who she is today, like her soul gifts. Like Aunt Flo was this like just spiritual teacher. And then when she passed on, she's still being that spiritual teacher to her, to her niece. It's really beautiful. When I work with her, like I can literally, like, you can feel Aunt Flo in her essence, in her energy. It's so beautiful. So this is important because when she met me today for her one-on-one session, she said, Steph, I've got to show you something. She went on to Google search what it meant to have to smell oranges. You're not going to believe this. Like, I literally was crying, I had goosebumps everywhere. The first website, and I think it was like that came up, was oh, I wrote it down. It was Aunt Flo something, Aunt Flo spirituality, or Aunt Flo, I think it was Aunt Flo awakening or something like that. And the website was called Aunt Flo, and this was her, again, her spiritual teacher. Now, mind you, this is, we were also doing a call with Dawn today, talking about the Pisces moon energy, about the synchronicities, and to pay attention to the synchronicities and to pay attention to the messages. So all this is happening. So I'm using this story with you because I want you to see that you are always, always, always supported. Life is always working for you, not against you. So if you look at life that way, you're going to see miracles instead of problems. You're going to see things that you're grateful for instead of things that are just constantly going wrong for you. You're going to stop comparing yourself to others, because you're going to see, wow, all these different paths, these different like points of my life were a beautiful tapestry that was creating who I am and who I'm meant to be today. So I know this was a pause off of what we were just doing, but it was important. So do you see this, like that? And here I woke up Saturday morning, and I'm very tuned into listening to my guidance, and got this guidance going, Stephanie, you need to really have the women look at the five senses. So listen to your intuition and follow it, and then look at what has happened as a result. So again, if you go back and trace it from the very beginning, think about this too. This is another side note, but I want you to think about this. Think about those whispers you have in your heart that you are asked to share or do in your life, in your business, or being a mom, or in your relationship, whatever it is, and you don't follow those whispers. Do you see how me listening to that whisper, that guidance, that download now affected other people because I listened and I shared it. So that's another thread to what I'm saying here. Another woman saw a black wolf that she saw, and then she was looking up the spiritual, what that meant for her. So really pay attention to those five senses and what is coming through. So you might even want to pause this video and really go back to tapping into that. What are those five senses saying to me? What is that part needing from me? So that is really, really, really important. Okay, so now how can I upgrade my self-care beliefs? What is an energizing self-care mantra that will help you upgrade your current operating system? So again, this is not just a fluffy mantra. We want to have it as an energetic, like, ooh, it's like to the core. So self-care leads to success. That's actually on my business card because that's how much I believe that self-care leads to my success. I nourish to flourish. When I take care of myself, I flourish in my life and my business. This is actually on my phone every single day from 8 to 10 because that is where I put my self-care time. I put my me time, I used to call it when I was teaching my students. I heard one of my clients use that the other day. I loved it. Give yourself that me time. When I take care of myself, I make more impact and more income. Now that's exactly was on my phone every single day last year. It is definitely going to be on my phone this year. And guess what? It was my most fulfilling, joyful year of my life. And it was also my most abundant year of my life. And it was also, I had more clients than I ever had in my life. So you see, every single one of them became true because that's what I was focusing on every single day. This, and I really want you to hear this, sisters, this is a law I created. This is a rule I created because now we're going to go into, I'm going to get to that point about creating rules that universe, that your spirit guides are going to help define to make sure that when you're getting those things that are coming through to you that are meant for you, they're going to go through this rule. It's like, oh yeah, she made this rule. When she takes care of herself, she makes more impact and she makes more income. Okay, I'm going to come off screen because I want to tell you another story. This is from another person. I shared this with my clients here on the farm on Saturday. But this is a rule that she created for herself. She created a rule, and I really can relate to this because I feel like I've done this many, many times in the work that I've done in my healing work. When I pull people out of the depths of despair and out of like their hell on earth, I am I am rewarded tremendously by finances. Like she's abundantly rewarded is what she said. Now this is a woman that is a multiple, not six figure, not multiple seven figure, multiple 8 figure earner. Yes, she does energy work. She talks about a lot of the things that I talk about. We're actually a lot alike. But that's a rule that she made. When I bring people out of the depths of despair in their hell on earth, I am rewarded. I'm having a hard time saying that word. Massively, like financially. So that is something that you could create, one of those rules. That's one of the things that helped me with what I was doing in the work that I'm doing. I know I'm doing a lot of side lines here, but there's a lot actually coming through for me to share with you. The one of the things that really helped me charge what I was worth, by the way, because we have to raise our worth and raise our wealth, was I was really having a hard time with this, really having a hard time with my worth. And I was actually giving my work away for free. And I had somebody that knew me very, very well and knew where I was in life and where I've come from, and almost being so sick that I almost died, all the things. And she said, Stephanie, what did this work do for you? The work that you're teaching, what did it do for you? And I just sat there and I just cried. And I looked at her and I said, it saved my life. And she paused and she said, so what is that worth for other people to do with you? Like you're teaching this, you're an expert in this, you've been doing this for over 20 years. What is that worth for other people to pay for this? Like this is like the key of life. And not only like does it help you like barely surviving and thriving, it literally helps you like just kick ass and take names in the most beautiful soulful way. And then I was like, oh, wait a second, this actually is really worthy of charging what it's worth. And so then I was able to actually charge. I still think it's, it's like now I'm like, look at my prices and I'm like, it's worth so much more than that. Like I give so much more than that. And I know what I pay for a lot less than what I give. And like, I know it's even more worthy than that, but it's the price that feels good to me. So does that make sense? Like what I'm sharing with you, I want you to see the real life stories of how this actually comes into real life business, because it's so important. So making those rules work for you, looking at the rules and the beliefs that no longer serve you. And by the way, where we are with the moon right now, it's really good to be able to release the things that no longer serve you. So releasing the things that no longer serve you so you can actually create the room for what does serve you. Okay, back to the worksheet. Okay, so now we get into, oh good, I found a mistake. I can fix it right now. See, before that would have just took me out of the game and I would have started the video again, but I'm not about perfection. I'm about being real and raw. So here you go. So question number 5, how can I deeply nourish myself? So this is where you look at your moon sign to help you. So for me, my moon sign is Gemini. So one of those things, it's funny because my husband found out about this, is like Geminis like to communicate, they like to talk. And he's like, oh, of course you do. So like one of those things that I do is like I talk through things. Nature is very, impactful for me. So like nourishing yourself, what does that look like? And then you want to look at your sun sign. How do I energize myself? And I really want to also, I'm going to pull off and share this piece with you, another story time. Okay, so many of you know, if you know me, you know I'm a huge skier. And really what it stems from, if I go back way, way, way to my childhood, which is what I want you to do, is why I share these stories, so you can like take them and go back to your own story. When I was a little girl, I spent um, all of my time, every single moment of my free time was in the woods, it was in the forest. I had a little swing and I would just swing on my swing. And it was where I felt content. I literally felt like I communicated with the trees. I communicated with the animals. I was very, 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 very spiritual, very connected. And so that is my core. That is my nature. That's why I do what I do today. When I came back and did my full circle home, this is where I landed. So a lot of us, if you're thinking like, what do I want to do? Or you're in this like purpose, like coming in, and some of you have changed businesses doing this. Some of you are re-energizing your business, giving it that soul fire, shift, where you want to be in your business. Some of you are like, I don't know. Go back to your childhood. That's going to help you. So as I grew up, nature and the forest and mountains always spoke to my soul. So I always like, that's my home. That's my home. So skiing for me became very second nature, because I have to, where do you ski on? You ski on a mountain. So for me, I feel so at home there. It also reminds me of my strength. It also reminds me of all the things that I've gone through to get to where I am today, how many falls I had to go through to be a good mogul skier. I mean, I just remember my late husband saying, the more you fall, the better you're going to get. If you're not falling, you're not trying your best. And so I fell a lot, and I became really strong by, I call it falling forward, falling forward. And then when he passed away, that was what we did together. Like I love skiing before him, but he really helped like chisel in those, like the core of who I am. He got me to be like, find that strength, because I didn't have that before. He saw in me the athlete that I was. He saw in me all the things, and he would take me to places. I'm like, oh my God, how do you expect me to ski this? He's like, because you don't see your ability. I do. This is like me being your soul coach, right? I see your ability. Sometimes you don't see it. That's my gift. Well, that was his gift to me. I didn't expect that to make me cry, but he saw that. He really helped me get to my strength. So when he passed away, I didn't think that I could ski anymore. I just didn't think I could, muster the strength without him. But yet, this is why I really want you to hear this. This is what nourishes me. Like, this is not just, and I do love bubble baths, I do love massages. And I just was talking to another client about this today. It's like, you want to find the core of like, this is your lifeline. What brings you life? What breathes life into your soul? That's what we're looking for here. We're not just looking for the fluffy frou-frou. Like, if you can't figure this out, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. If you haven't figured this part out about me, I'm going to go deep, because we're going into, this is the roots. If we don't root ourselves, if we don't go deep, we're not going to be able to reach the stars like you want to reach to the stars. So this is why we go there in this program, because we are so not surface level. We are mermaids, and we're going to swim deep and really find that, because that is the core of who you are. That's your alignment. And I'm telling you, if you find that strength, if you find this like, this like, this is my knowing, this is my truth, you will be unstoppable. You will be unshakable, and nothing is going to take you off course. Pretty powerful, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying like, what your self-care. It's so much more than just the self-care what we used to talk. We're redefining. That's why I called it radical. This is radical. So going back to that skiing was not for me, but I had to really, the word push, and I hate the word push, but I had to dive deep to not quit. To get back on that mountain was the hardest thing I ever had to do. But I knew in my soul that I could not quit, because I knew this was my life force. I knew this is what got me to where I was today, and I knew that I could not let go of that. So I had to fight through like this tears literally freezing to my face. Like my goggles underneath were just like frozen tears. I don't, for years actually. Many times I threw my skis in the trunk. I said, I'm done. I would get my skis back out. I'd go back out. So I want you to think, some of you are in that season right now where you're like, I want to quit. So this is why, again, radical self-love, finding something that lights your soul on fire, finding something that whispers to you going, don't quit, don't quit. This is what's going to hold you on. This is what I'm asking for. When I say this self-love, this is what I'm talking about. It's again, it could save your life. That's how deep I want it to go. And if you're listening to this, you're like, Steph, I have no idea how to find that, then that's your journey. That's your heart homework. Go find it. Go find out, go back to your childhood. What lit you up? What brought you joy? What gave you fulfillment? That's what you want to follow. So now when I ski and people's like, oh yeah, Steph's just out there skiing. It's not just out there anything. It's what brings me life so I can bring life back to you. That's what you're looking for. It's things like this that are going to make you cry, because they're so deep in your soul that you just like, you need them. You need them to fill up your vessel so you can fill up other people, fill up your impact, make your kids, your business, all of it. That's what I'm talking about. So skiing is my lifeline. I want you to find your lifeline, your spark, your fire, because that's going to feed your vision. That's going to feed every single thing you want and desire. Okay. Do you know, I thought this was going to be a 3-minute video because I was just going to show you the worksheet, but what I'm doing right now, and I really want you to hear this. This is important. As I'm teaching you, I have all of these, the downloads, all of the whispers coming through, like, make sure you tell them this, make sure you tell them this. So this is divinely, coming through to you. So I hope that it's landing on your heart, because I truly believe that if you follow this, that it will change your life. Okay. I feel like Kate North from here, where she goes and she comes off, she goes, okay, back to the text, back to the text. Okay, so now back to the text, back to the self-care rule box. Here's what I want you to do here. On the left side, this is my current reality, okay? My current reality, my current self-care beliefs and rules. This is the box that you've created that is keeping you playing small. Okay, what are the rules I have around self-care? Now, this is a good one. I'll give myself, now I'm going to use a fluffy example here just because it's an easy one. I'll go get that massage, or I'll go, take care of myself, or I'll go for that walk, or I'll go for, whatever it is that your soul is asking you to do to take care of yourself when I hit this next goal. No, that's the opposite. But this is, if this is how you feel, I want you to write down. I want you to be real and raw. Like, is that one of your rules? Like, I'll take care of myself when I do this. What behaviors, if you're having a hard time knowing what are my rules, well, look at your behaviors, because your behaviors actually show you how you feel about the rules. So like, what behaviors are actually showing you that? So for my example I just gave you, I'll go do my self-care when I accomplish that. So my behavior would be, I only do self-care routines after I meet a goal. That would be a behavior, right? Because that's showing out in real life. So now if you look at the right side is all upgraded. Okay, so my upgraded optimizing self-care rules. So what are your upgraded rules? I gave you a couple as example. When I take care of myself, I make more impact and I make more income. That's like a mantra, but it could be a rule. Like one of my people that I've been studying with, one of her rules is when she helps heal people and takes people from the depth of despair, she gets wildly rewarded. That's one of her rules. So that could be one of your rules. When you that one's not as much as a self-care. Mine was more of a self-care. I just realized that example I gave, that rule that I just gave you could go with one of your specific things that you're working on for your visions, and that's on the next page. But around self-care, what are some other self rules? Like, I love, like, when I self-care, when I take care of myself, I'm more successful. So that's a good rule around self-care. When I nourish myself, I flourish in my business. That's another rule you can create. So these are just examples. So the next question is, how will you breathe fire into this area? What new behaviors do you have around these rules? So these will become your action steps. So again, I'm using my example. Now I realize, by the way, if it's not on your calendar, well, let me speak for myself. If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't happen, because my calendar is very abundant. And if I don't put it in there, it's not going to happen. I'll be too tired at the end. And so, like, when I do things now, I really look at that. Okay, what's the intention behind it? I might be asking a question and get some curiosity. That's fine. But if it's around, like, this is not, this doesn't actually feel like the real reason why I'm doing this. Does that make sense? It's not as pure. Then it's a no, because it's like, if it's not aligned in love and light, I don't want to do it. And so it's that boomerang effect. Whatever you put out comes back. Whatever you put out comes back. Whatever you put out comes back. So that's very, very, very important. So the intention is vital. Okay, we're almost getting to the end of this. And so the mission statement, I just worked with another client around this today. Super important. Like, your vision and your mission statement can be the same, actually. And it might be that you're writing your vision over here again, but this is your North Star. This is what will guide everything. So for me, my mission, my vision, my mission and my vision are very similar. That I am here to help women and children really know their power, really know their purpose, and really feel their ultimate possibilities. And I'm here to raise their worth, raise the vibration of this planet. That is what I'm really here to do. I'm here to teach us to heal deeply in our wounds, so we can shine our light and be as bright as we possibly can out into the world. So that is my mission and vision. That is my North Star that guides everything. It is super uber important. I don't know why Uber has come out twice today, but it does. I never say that. But it's super important that you write that you know your mission. You know that, because everything else that comes into your life, and this is going to come up later in our work together around boundaries, for me, it doesn't happen. I won't do it if it doesn't align to my mission and my vision. If I think, when someone asks me to do something, I think, okay, does it align to my mission and vision? If it's a no, thank you. Sorry, that doesn't align to my mission and vision. That's not energetically where I'm going right now, but thank you for the offer. That's usually what I say. Like, I am very committed to my mission and vision. And when I found that when I did that, everything started to flow even more because I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do this, and oh, I'm going to do this, and oh, I'm going to do this. And I was all over the freaking place. And now I'm like, here's my mission and vision. Okay. And even I'll mention this too. This is important. I was just sharing this with a client today. Even though I knew children has been my life's work for my entire life, really. I knew that kids were always going to come out into what I was doing. I just didn't know exactly how. And I'm still like, that's just kind of like floating out here still. Like, I don't think it's still completely where it's going to land yet in my business. I have a high vibe kids tribe, but I still feel like there's something more percolating. That's okay. I knew that was still needed to percolate until it came down and landed into reality, but I still feed it knowing that is my mission, right? That is still my vision. So that, and I just have to mention this too because it's literally just happened this year. One of my clients wanted me to help her with her daughter, and so now she's doing, her daughter's in my high vibe kids tribe, she's in my high vibe sisterhood tribe, and she's in my year program, and I'm helping them both doing, private, semi-private one-on-ones with them as mother and daughter. And so that's like where I'm like, okay, this is coming down because I've been feeding it. Does that make sense? It's been in my field, it's been in my mission, and it's been spinning, and now it's like coming down into reality. So just know this is another like teaching point that it will land. So feed it. Mission statement. So then you want to say, what domain area does this fall into? So it could be your career, business, family, health, money, love, self-love, spirituality, acceptance, personal growth, whatever it is. There's lots more. That's where you write that in your line. My current blank rules. What are the rules I have around this area? Again, same thing we did for self-care. What are the rules? That's really, really important. What current reality, right now? What behaviors do I show around these rules? Okay, so let me give you a quick example here. So I'm going to pick health here because this is one area I'm actually working on. The one area I feel like I definitely have my, spirituality, my business is going really well, but I've really, put my health on the back burner. I've, stopped, eating really healthy. I've had a love affair with carbs that it's just never ending. I just love my carbs, and I haven't made the decision to lose the 30 pounds that I've gained over the last 3 years. So I haven't made that choice. So again, going back to the choice. So my rules that I have around this are, like what would be, and I didn't write this down, so this is just literally coming from my heart. My rules around this, I have to sit with this a little bit more, but um, really what's coming to me when I sit with it and just ask is that I was believing that my health wasn't as important as anymore. Like I had all these other things going on, that it was okay that I was negating my health. Like that was a rule. Like it was okay, and that it was okay to be the status quo in my health and be like, optimal in all these other areas. So that was one of my beliefs. What behaviors showed me is because I was not making those decisions. I was continuing to eat the carbs. I was continuing, to do all the things, not work out, not take that time, put that time in my calendar to actually do the things and make those decisions and to make those behaviors, to eat right, all the things, move my body. So now my upgraded, optimized rule around this. So it's again like going back to my thing, when I take care of mind, body, and soul, that I am elevated and I can truly create the life of my dreams for myself and for my clients. So that's a rule. That is an absolute rule that is going in my upgraded box. How will you breathe fire into this? How will you breathe life into it? And I can say this like speaking from like making this choice. I wake up, I take care of myself. Today I got up, I worked out, I did an hour workout. I made sure I had my superfoods, I had my smoothie. I'm on my body melt program. So all these action steps are happening. I'm taking care of myself. I'm getting ready to go for a walk after I do this video. So I am feeding that part of myself. So you see how I looked at my behaviors of the part of myself that was current reality, and then we upgraded it and I made a decision. How will you measure if your upgraded rules are working? So for me, on that example again, I'm going to look at how I'm going to track my days. So I have to, my must do rule is that I work out 5 days a week. So I will look, did I work out for 5 days a week? Yes, I will check that off. Did I have my, my superfoods for breakfast? How did I do with my eating? I will be tracking that as well. And I have a journal for that. So those are my action steps. And then what are some of your breakthroughs? So then weekly, what I would love to invite you to do is look at your breakthroughs on this. How did you break through? For me, I'll look at like, how do I feel? How is my energy level? Because one of my goals is to release weight. Did I release any weight this week? And be able to look and to modify that. So I would love you, these are my examples, but I would love you to look at this weekly and modify this and look, because this is how we make the changes. I know this is a long video, but I want you to really look at this as like, this is critical. This is how we dive deep. This is how we be aware and look at what's really in front of us. This is the current reality, and this is where I want to go. And these are the action steps that I'm going to take to make that happen. So, every week, I really would love for you to look at this and really track it. Okay. Really, really track it. And then, whatever your area, your domain, your vision, whatever you want to work on. Don't pick mine, obviously, pick yours, because this is we want to move the needle for you. And then every 90 days at the bare minimum, look at this, reevaluate, shift. I believe you're going to get a lot more changes if you do it weekly, and then do a big inventory every 90 days. Okay. So sisters, you got a lot from this that was going to be a 5-minute video. I don't even know how many minutes we're on now, but I do believe that this was important. I do believe this is going to move the needle, and I believe that you're going to find joy and fulfillment as we are moving up to that beautiful dream that you have in your heart. I love you so much, and I can't wait to hear how this goes. Please, please, please share with us in the Facebook group. We want to hear your successes. We want to hear your celebrations, and we want to hear too, is there an area that you need more support around this area? Please let us know. I love you. Bye-bye.